Welcome to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Joyous conversations about what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about our one reality. You have nothing to fear. You are eternal and you are perfectly loved. Knowing the truth changes everything. Now, here's Roberta.
Welcome to Seek Reality. I'm Roberta Grimes and I'm so happy you're with us today. Longtime Seek Reality listeners have some favorite guests, as you know, people they especially love because what those guests know and what they can share with us and what they might be able to do for people who may need their special kind of care is precious to us. And it's also very enjoyable for all of us to hear about and to hear about what those experts in those exotic fields like past regression therapy perhaps might be able to do to solve not just other people's exotic problems, but maybe problems that happen to us or to our friends. And so we'd love to hear these stories, and maybe we can share them with our friends too. And so one of those very special friends with exotic talents is with us today. Peter Wright is a longtime personal friend of mine as well. He's a certified hypnotherapist based in Santa Barbara, California. He also holds the distinction of being one of only 40 board-certified past life regression therapists in the whole United States. And he has more than 25 years of experience working with thousands of clients on a variety of kinds of problems. Peter has worked with many Seek Reality listeners too, and I sometimes hear from people who say, wow, they've just consulted Peter and he was able to help them with some problem or other of theirs. And I've never heard anybody who said, Peter, he did, oh, well, every one of them have said, wow, what Peter did really helped. So 100% is a pretty good rate, and I think it's especially wonderful that he helps these friends of mine. So now our wonderful, wonderful friend Peter is back with us for the 21st time. Peter, welcome. It's so great to have you back with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back.
So before we sort of plunge into whatever is our latest story, can you talk to us a little bit about hypnosis and why it works? Because frankly, the first time you hypnotized me, I was sure I was going to be your first failure. I was certain of it.
I'd be delighted to. Just a second here. So hypnosis is just simply focused concentration. We go in and out of trance every day. If you ever cried while watching a sad film, you've been in trance. In fact, it's quite similar to meditation. In meditation, you're in a deeply relaxed state. It's like a telescope, inspiring you to see the big picture. Hypnosis is in that same state of deep relaxation, but it's like a microscope where we're looking within you and, with the help of your guidance, to resolve the issues that you brought to the session. What I find, Roberta, is that about 60% of my clients are visual. So we go into a past life or earlier into this life. It's like they're starring in their own motion picture costume drama. But 40% of my clients, and I'm in this group myself, are more auditory or sensing or feeling. So whenever I go into one of my past lives, I don't see anything. I see it. I just simply hear it or feel it. I don't see it. And in fact, I feel like I'm making it up. But this is important. I'm making up this story, not that one over there. It's coming from somewhere. And I find in the trance state, your soul speaks through your imagination. And your soul is not making things up. Rather, it's translating what is inside of you into first thought, first feeling, first image, first voice. So I invite you to get out of the way and allow the story to unfold as if it's important.
But what's interesting about it is I was sure I couldn't be hypnotized, but I also couldn't come out of the state I was in. I was sure I could, but when it came right down to it, I couldn't. It was a fascinating experience.
Well, in fact, you're always in charge, and you actually can come out of it quite easily. And I'm there to make sure that all is well, that you feel safe at all times.
Well, I felt safe, but it was an astonishing experience. I thought it was an astonishing experience. I felt safe because I was there. There was my friend Peter, but it did feel like an altered experience. And whatever you suggested, it was like, okay. And I did, you said, oh, I can't remember even the details of what happened, but it was clearly an altered state. It was a safe altered state, but it is an altered state. It was astonishing, Peter. It really is an astonishing thing to be hypnotized.
And yet it feels very similar to deep meditation, because that's really what it is. You're just simply relaxing the body and inviting your own guidance to come forth in the trance state, your heart, your higher self, and all your guidance, and they lead.
I yielded to it voluntarily because I did trust it and I did want it to be. I think if I had not wanted it to be, if I had really resisted it, I could have.
Well, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You're in charge.
Yeah, clearly that's true. I thought it was fascinating and actually enjoyable. And it did work because what you wanted to have happen, what you wanted to bring forth, which was this deeper state, did happen to me all the same. Quite fascinating.
So what I'd like to do today is talk about a client session from several months ago. And I will share the highlights of that session with those who are watching today or listening.
Yes. Good. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this because these are always so interesting.
I've changed the name of my client to ensure anonymity. So let's say his name is Bill, and Bill is 56.
And we should clarify that you have asked this anonymous person for permission to share this story, right? So people don't have to worry his stories, my story is going everywhere. You did ask this person, not only is he anonymous, but he's also said, sure, share my story.
Exactly. So Bill came to me because he wanted to release feelings of anxiety, anger, fear, worry, and fear of death. Plus, he had unresolved issues with his dad, who died a number of years before after a contentious divorce from his mom. Bill wanted to let go of limiting beliefs that in this life had been filled with struggle or burden. Plus, he wanted to utilize more of his talents and his abilities and aspirations in service to God's plan for his life and to bring more joy into his life. So, as many of you know, I have a very metaphysical hypnotherapy practice. And I like to describe then what happens during a session and then talk about what happened in the session with Bill. Because in the trance state, it's very easy to channel your heart, your higher self, and the other guidance available to us from the light. And this includes spirit guides, angels, archangels, and ascended masters. Plus, you can channel loved ones who've passed on, as well as past life personalities. Because what I find is that by working with your guidance, it knows everything about you from this life and past lives, and is eager to partner with us to help you resolve the issues that we're focusing on. So I'd like now to share my notes from my session with Bill. I've been doing hypnotherapy for the last 25 years, and this was a session that surprised me. So I thought it might be of interest to those who are listening or watching today.
Okay.
Bill into hypnosis, and then on a visualization, taking him up into the light of the fifth dimension.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
In that higher vibration, it's very easy to connect with his heart, his higher self, Archangel Michael, and all his guidance. What I find is that these resources know everything about us from this life and past lives. What interested me about the fifth dimension was underscored by Albert Einstein. I recently came upon a quote by him because he was a believer in the fifth dimension. He once indicated that it can be quicker and easier to resolve issues while in the fifth dimension's higher vibration than doing talk therapy in the third dimension. So what we're doing is we're working in that fifth dimension here. So I took Bill into hypnosis up into the light, and I asked him to describe what he was experiencing in the light of the fifth dimension. And he said, I'm outside in nature, filled with green trees and a stream and a big rock. So we just found ourselves now up in the light. So I asked his heart to join us. And I said to Bill, you may experience your heart as an image or a feeling or a presence or knowing, or it could be an inner voice. How does your heart make itself known to you? And he said, my heart is floating on the left side of me. Great. So let's invite that floating energy of your heart to come forth now with words like, I'm here, as if you were channeling it. I'm here, said Bill's heart. How do you support Bill? Heart responded, I offer him guidance, protection, life. Okay. So we then invited Bill's higher self to join us. How does your higher self make itself known to you? Bill replied, my arms are tingling. Okay. Let's invite that tingling feeling in your arms to join us right now with words like, I'm here. I'm here, said his higher self. Well, from my perspective, it's a voice. I hope it's your higher self. So I asked a key question, and this is very important. Higher self, are you in service to the light and love of the one infinite creator? Truth and nothing but the truth. If it's not your higher self, not from the light, it cannot lie and say, I sure am.
Right.
So I asked this question to make sure we're speaking with the true higher self, the true spirit guides, the true archangels and ascended masters, just to make sure.
Right.
Higher self said yes. How do you support Bill, higher self? I offer him guidance, decisions. I help Bill make ethical choices. Okay. So at that point, I asked Archangel Michael to join us. How do you experience his energy? Bill described him as a translucent angel floating over on the left. How is he dressed? Dressed in purple and white. Okay. Let's invite Archangel Michael to come forth to you with words like, I'm here. I'm here, he said. Are you in service to light and love of the one infinite creator? Yes. Excellent. So I then asked Bill's heart, his higher self, and Archangel Michael to form what we call an inner wisdom team. We'll partner with this team throughout the session. And we do this because they know everything about Bill from this life and past lives.
Yes.
Help him resolve these issues that we're focusing on. So I asked then Archangel Michael, because he's the protector, if there are any positive or negative intruder energies present that could be affecting Bill. Now, positive energies could include spirit guides, an inner child, or past life personalities that are helping my client. Negative intruder energies can include ghosts or negative entities that are causing problems for the client. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm trying to determine if intruder energies are present, and if so, are you a good witch or a bad witch? And if it's a good witch, how are you helping my client? And if it's a bad witch, I want to find out how you're affecting my client so we can get rid of you with the help of Archangel Michael. Well, Archangel Michael said there are 3 intruder energies present. Okay, so since we know there are perhaps 3 present, let's invite the first energy to come forth right now with words like, I'm here.
But I ask, do you commonly find intruder energies?
Sometimes, not all the time, but I find that there are voices within us that, especially if they're negative, don't need to be there. And so if there are, that's why I go to Archangel Michael right up front to ask him.
To get rid of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. All right.
And I should also add, intruder energies in talk therapy, they don't exist because we can't see them.
Right.
hypnotherapy, when you're in the trance state, working with your guidance, they know if there are any present, and often they're at the heart of what could be bothering the client, as we'll find out from the three that are present within Bill. So let's talk about the first intruder energy. I invited to come forth right now with words like, I'm here. I'm here, it said. So I asked, are you a part of Bill or something else? And it responded, something else. Okay. So on further questioning, I learned it was a ghost or an earthbound spirit. Background here about those. When that person died, it did not go completely into the light. It was mired in the, so what it did was, we then found out more about it, and it said it was a male body, and it had died of cancer at the age of 35. So we're now talking to this energy, and I asked it, how have you been affecting Bill? And the energy replied that it had been causing problems for Bill. But then to my surprise, we discovered it was Bill's father's energy that had joined his son when his dad had died. Whoa, this is not unusual, but still, but it happens on occasion. So we have dad's energy, dad is dead, he's now joined his son. And I asked him, how have you been affecting your son? And dad responded, I know what's best for Bill. I moved into Bill in order to fulfill my own wishes. I've trapped him into continuing to play that role. Whoa. So
That's
I Dad within you. And he said, that's not fair or right. Dad, stop trying to control me. So I asked Bill's inner wisdom team what wants to happen next, because we're in partnership with them. They're leading the session. And they replied, Dad needs to leave.
Yeah.
Now. Okay. So I asked Bill's heart to join us and to speak directly to Dad's heart, because every part of your body is available to us. Every part has a voice. So I asked Bill's heart to speak its truth to Dad's heart. And here's what Bill's heart said. I really love you and miss you, Dad, and was sad when you died. But I feel hurt and angry at you for moving into my energy field and seeking to control me, and therefore affecting me and my personal choices. Whoa. How does Dad respond?
Right.
I love you, son, but I'm adamant that I know what is best for you.
Oh, gee, they're fighting about this.
So we're now trying to get rid of Dad. So I asked Dad this question. Dad, how old is Bill right now from your perspective? And Dad responded, Bill is 8 years old. Oh, well, I pointed out to Dad that Bill's actually 56 years old, and that a 56-year-old man does not need his father telling him what to do.
Let's say.
Bill's an adult who should make his own decisions.
Right.
I then asked Archangel Michael to rejoin us with words like, I'm here. So Archangel Michael, what wants to happen to release Dad from Bill? Well, he told us that we need forgiveness on both sides to help release the emotions in both Bill's.
Oh, good point. Yes. Very good point.
You know, Roberta, it's all about forgiveness. By doing so, this could help Dad leave Bill's energy field. So I then asked, what's blocking from that occurring? And to my surprise, Bill's heart responded that fear was still present within Bill. And it was the fear that if Bill lets his guard down, others might take advantage of him as well.
Oh.
So what do we do about this, Archangel Michael? And Archangel Michael said, we need to bring in the second intruder that was blocking Bill from releasing that fear.
Oh.
So let's invite that number two intruder to come in right now with words like, I'm here. And to my surprise, we discovered that the second intruder was, in fact, the energy of Bill's mother, who was still alive in her own physical body.
Hi.
And I'm sure you've had experience with this with your those who've appeared on Seek Reality, where the energy of someone else can in fact affect us, even if they're still in physical body.
I suppose Mom is trying to protect Bill from Dad.
So during our initial consultation, Bill described his childhood as being filled with trauma.
I'll say.
Yep.
Still going on.
During their divorce, Mom and Dad fought over his custody. And in fact,
dear.
Dad kidnapped the 8-year-old Bill and kept him from his mom for weeks after their divorce.
Oh,
so Mom told us that the divorce was a very emotional time for her, and that she was there now to protect her 8-year-old son. Well, I pointed out to Mom that Bill was actually 56 years old and no longer needed her protection.
I'll say.
Yeah. So Bill added that he didn't want his mother's energy in his field any longer and that she must leave now.
Yeah.
So again, we're working in partnership with his guidance. So Archangel Michael rejoined us, and I asked him, what should we do next? He told us that Mom first needs to forgive herself for all the trauma that she caused her son.
Yeah,
Again,
I'll say.
and then she could leave her son's energy field. But Archangel Michael then said we needed to release the third intruder first. Whoa, okay. So what is the third intruder? And Archangel Michael said it was negative energy that had taken advantage of the emotional situation of Bill and had moved in through holes in Bill's aura.
Oh.
And
wow.
Just before, Robert, as you recall, with spirit releasement,
yes.
consider the physical body is protected by the immune system. We know that.
Of course.
Your spirit body is protected by the aura.
Of course, of course.
On occasion, your aura could become weak due to trauma.
Oh, my word.
Or pot. Or having a big heart and not protecting yourself.
Yes.
Holes develop in the aura, and through these holes can come...
What a mess. The poor man.
So this negativity entered in and had been creating negative emotions within Bill, and then feeding off those negative emotions caused by the unhealthy relationship between his parents.
Yes, of course. Of course.
So I asked Bill where he was holding on to that fear in his body that was being created or made worse by this negativity.
Yes.
And he said it was in two areas, his heart and his brain. Okay. So let's focus now on the fear in your heart, Bill. What color is that fear as you focus on it? And he said, green. What's the shape of the fear? An ink blot shape. Okay. So, Bill, what I want you to do with your imagination is surround that green ink blot of fear in your heart with your mind, taking control of it. Because up until now, it's been controlling you.
Yes.
It's your chance to control it. So as you surround that fear with your imagination, I want you to squeeze that fear and move it on up your body and out to the top of your head, putting it behind you in the light as it goes out the crown chakra. And the angels of the white light will receive it and transmute that fear into white light energy. So I asked Bill, is the fear starting to move under your control? And he said, yes. So keep pushing it up and on out through the top of the head, letting it go, releasing it into the light.
Into the light. Yes. Yes.
Is it gone? Bill said, yes. So now let's look down into your heart where that fear had been and allow crystal and white light to rise up and fill that space where the fear was. And as you concentrate on the light, it's going to get larger and larger and brighter and brighter. Is that happening? Yes, he said. Then wrap your mind around the light and expand your mind and the light together as it makes it brighter and larger and stronger. And then allow the light to enter into your mind and mix with your mind. So what we're doing here is we have the heart and we're having the head, and we're bringing in the conscious mind to combine with whatever's in the heart in order to mix the two together. Because in the light, it gives you awareness and understanding, takes away the false beliefs and judgments from the past. It changes those beliefs, makes it possible for you to forgive yourself and others.
Yes.
In the light, there's truth. In the light, there's compassion. In the light, there's understanding. In the light, there's freedom for you to express your thoughts, Bill. A sense of confidence, an opportunity for you to be free of the past. So, what's the message that you feel right now in your heart from the light? And Bill said, love.
That's all there is. Yeah.
So breathe in that love and let it completely fill your heart.
That's right.
How does that feel, heart? And the heart responded, and I thought this was very, very sweet. Finally, it's about time.
Time. Oh, the poor man.
So I asked Bill how he felt now, and he said, it feels good.
Yes.
My empty for far too long. Oh my. So we now had released the fear from the heart, and we were told that fear was also present in the mind, in the brain. So we'd use the same protocol to get rid of the fear in the brain. What color is it? What shape is it? And so on. Surround it with your mind, taking control of it, and move it on up and out to the top of the head, putting it behind you in the light.
Yes.
And then filling up that whole area with crystal and white light, brighter, brighter, stronger, 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 all the way up to a 10. And then what's the message in the light for Bill? And the brain responded, joy. So I then asked Bill's inner wisdom team, now that we'd gotten rid of the fear, what should we focus on next in our session? And they said, Bill's future. Okay, so what is Bill's path to the future? And his team responded, follow your joy, Bill. We will be there to support you at every step along the way. So what we're seeking to do was to help let go of all this emotion that had been
Yes.
here, and now we were finishing up the session. So I then invited Bill to imagine himself in a sanctuary where he could feel safe and protected. Could be at the beach, at the top of the mountain, in your backyard, but somewhere where he felt very protected. And he described himself inside a Buddhist temple filled with windows and an ornate roof. So anywhere is good. So that's his particular sanctuary. So we invited his heart, his higher self, and Archangel Michael to join him in this sanctuary and to describe how they look like to him at that particular point. Because we've been working with these resources for the last hour and a half. So he was on a first name basis with them all. So he
Of course.
was around in his little sanctuary there. And then I told him that he could easily return to the sanctuary in his imagination daily or whenever he chose. And he could call forth his inner wisdom team to ask them questions to get answers from them about next steps in his life. So with his entire inner wisdom team present, I asked this question: how did we help Bill today during our hypnotherapy session? And I asked for one of his inner wisdom team members to respond with words like, I'm here, and report. I'm here, said a voice. Who may we call? What may we call you? It turned out to be Bill's heart. So I asked Bill's heart, what happened during our session today? And Bill's heart responded, Bill released a great deal of anxiety, anger, fear, worry, and sadness caused by the presence of his parents in his energy field. And we replaced those negative emotions with love and joy. And this led to forgiveness towards Dad and Mom and to Bill himself. Plus, the intrusive energy of his parents had now departed. And at the age of 56, Bill was at last in charge of himself, ready to move on his soul's journey. So with this, I then asked for an overall message from Bill's inner wisdom team to be expressed by one of the members of the team with words like, I'm here. I'm here, said a voice. What name may we call you? Bill's higher self. So what's your overall message for Bill from the team? And he said, higher self said, Bill, remember to live in your joy. Take more downtime for yourself. Go on vacation. Blessings to you, Bill, for taking care of yourself today. You did some terrific work, and your inner wisdom team is eager to continue to work with you on your own. Together, we can help you move forward with love and joy in your life. So we brought the session to a close. We got together a week later because in the meantime, I sent Bill a recording of the session and a link to my higher self shortcut. It's my voice, hypnotic music, takes you into trance and up into the fifth dimension, up into the light. And I included 10 different handouts for Bill to use as resources for the future. So we got together a week or so later for our follow-up session. At the beginning of the follow-up session, I reviewed the goals that we set the previous week, and I turned to Bill and said, what shifted? What changed? And Bill said he was feeling so much lighter, so much more in control, so much more positive about his life. And so we then went through the handouts, which included sample questions to ask your inner wisdom team, because the higher self shortcut takes you up into the light, where you can then imagine yourself with your team, invite them to join you, and then ask them questions about your day through your heart. And shut up and get first thought, first feeling, first image, first voice, and answer from your inner wisdom team.
Right.
And to use as a way to help you navigate your life in the future. So he was very pleased with the session and was looking forward to working with the team on his own. So I see this as short-term therapy. We can get together in the future if you'd like, but what we're doing here is helping you to resolve particular issues now, meet your team. They can work with you in the future, but I'm always happy to help you if you'd like assistance from me in another session with the team and hypnosis and us working together in partnership. So questions, Roberta, comments, anything you'd like to ask about?
I think what's important is for people to see that this kind of therapy is very likely to work in one session, whereas talk therapy is never going to get at what was really wrong in this guy's case. Because, he could talk to for a million years about this, he has this problem and this problem and this problem, but it never gets at what the problem was.
Right. And as Einstein said, we go to a higher vibration, higher level.
Yeah, you have to in order to, because the people who tell me that you were able to help them would often tell me they had been going to a psychiatrist or a therapist for years and it didn't help. And then they would go to you and in one session, it was fixed. Whatever was wrong with them, they never told me what was wrong, but they had this kind of problem. There's these people stuck in their auras or this or that kind of problem. And that's what's amazing about what you do. Do you get this kind of resolution in one session typically?
What happens is we're taking off layer after layer of the issue. And I can't promise that in 2 hours you will be healed. No, I don't have that power. But what we're doing is we're working in partnership with your guidance.
It must happen in a couple sessions at least. I mean, it would.
Amazing things happen. Amazing things happen because.
Yeah. Well, that seems to be the case with a lot of people who have gone to you from Seek Reality because they tell me that.
I've been doing this work for 25 years and I've seen more than 2,000 clients. And I find that by this approach, we are in fact empowering you to work with your own guidance. And in fact, maybe the guidance has inspired both of us to get together. I don't
know. It's really amazing. They tell me that what talk therapy never fixed for them, you were able to fix for them very quickly. I guess because they did exactly what you just described.
Just getting out of the way, allowing the story to unfold, and then helping you to come to closure with the story, often through forgiveness, often through inviting all those who joined us from that past life to come forth now, where you can speak your truth to them, hear their truth, and create an opportunity for everybody to forgive each other, because it's all about forgiveness.
It really is substantially, I have to say. Yeah. I mean, I never had a problem that I needed to have solved when you and I were playing with hypnosis, and I have to say perfectly frankly, I wanted to meet some of the past lives. My guide tells me we've had 17 past lives together. Great, I wanted to meet them all. He said no. I'm not. I remember that he wouldn't allow that. He did, though, allow us to have them all in one room together, which I thought was great. Except they turned out to be all male. Every last one of my past lives with him was male. So, but that was all he would allow. I got to see them. That was it. I couldn't actually talk to them. I have a very bossy primary guide. That's just all I have to say about it. He's very bossy. But no, I mean, every story you've had to tell us has been like this. It's been someone who had really issues. Now Bill, his life was pretty well fixed up at one session.
Well, he's now met with a guidance. We got rid of mom and dad. So now he's in control of himself.
And he's happy now?
Happy now, absolutely. And more work to do. We all have more work to do. So it's not the magic wand that resolves all your problems, but what I find is it can help you release what no longer serves you that you are ready to let go of now. And your guidance is here to support us in doing so and to help you come to closure with issues in your life involving relationships, involving the lineage. We can easily go back into the lineage and find out what happened and help you come to closure with that, along with others in the family who are healed as well. It's an amazing opportunity for healing, for coming to closure.
Well, that it seems to be, because as I say, I just get raves from the people who go in and ask for your services. So I'm quite impressed, I have to say. But there are others who do what you do, but I guess not very many.
I have my own particular approach that I developed over the years with the help of my guidance, but I find that working with past lives, working with your current life, going back into the lineage can be very beneficial, very healing for those of us who are doing this work and for the clients who seek us out.
Well, I think what you do is just amazing, my dear. It's really quite wonderful. I'm so happy that you're there, that you can help people this way. And are there ever times when it doesn't work? Or maybe people are resistant to it?
Exactly. If you're there with your arms crossed saying, I'm not going to go in hypnosis, I'm not going to go in hypnosis, you're right. And also, if you're not yet ready to let go of the issue, because we're all, again, in charge of ourselves, we hope so, and you're not ready to forgive or not ready to move forward, or you perhaps it's part of your soul's journey to have that issue, to experience what it is to have those negative emotions or those relationships. You need to go through it in order to learn, for your soul to learn what wants to happen next, to let go of it.
So what do you recommend to people who feel that way when they sort of are sitting with you, and you do this also by Zoom and Skype, right? So people can be anywhere and work with you, but they get there and they just feel resistant right now. What do you recommend to people who feel that way?
So we invite the resistance to come forth through you right now. Where do you feel that resistance in your body?
Oh, right, okay. So you work with people anyway. You try.
Oh, it's in my chest. Okay, let's invite that resistance in your chest to come forth right now with words like, I'm here. I'm here, says the resistance. So are you a part of Roberta or something else?
You're so funny. I just love you.
Inner child could be a past life, could be that. Or I'm something else, could be an earthbound spirit, could be negative energy. Or it could be something else. Get talking.
It's just really hard for you to give up on anyone, isn't it? You're just.
I'm here to support you. And I'm here. And if you're willing, I'm willing. And your heart and higher self are especially willing because they want you to move forward.
They want people to heal. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Oh, aren't you wonderful, Peter? I can't get over how wonderful you are. That's so great.
I offer a free consultation for anyone who'd like to explore this further by Zoom or phone or Skype. We talk about your issues briefly, and I talk about how I work with clients. And if there's a match, great. And if there's not a match, great. You'll know best.
Whatever works. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, we're coming toward the end of our time. What do you want people to take away from our conversation today?
You're in charge of yourself. What's not working? And if something's not working, let's talk about that part of you that knows what's not working. Invite it to come forth and speak through you and allow your guidance to speak through you so that perhaps in partnership, we can help you take off layer after layer of whatever that might be. So you can come back into your own power, move forward in your life to help you on your soul's journey.
Whatever works is what's going to work. Exactly.
Out of the way.
We do have fun though, don't we, dear? Well, please consider yourself to be hugged, my sweet, and we'll be doing this again. It's very important, I think, for everybody to understand that there is always help. There are people who do love you and who can help you, and there are many different ways to be helped. And if Peter can help you, he will do his darndest to help you. I think that's the real thing to take away. There are many different ways because we are deep, complex, eternal beings, and there are many, many different ways that people like Peter can help you, and he does not give up easily. My goodness, he really does not give up on people. Bless you, my darling. Please consider yourself hugged now. Oh, I just love this man. Well, everyone, please understand that you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began, you never will end. And that's, I think, the most important thing for everyone always to take away from every one of our guests. It's impossible for you ever to die. In fact, whether you like it or not, it's impossible for you ever to die. And when you really get that, it changes everything in your life for the better. Next week, our guest will be Noah St. John, who will be with us for the second time. This was the 21st time with Peter, but of course it won't be the last. But Noah St. John is kind of a force of nature. He's an extremely powerful coach. He's written a book called Affirmations, and affirmations are positive and empowering questions you can ask yourself. The goal is to change your beliefs about yourself by focusing on what is good and right about you instead of what is bad and wrong about you, which I think makes sense. His website is noahstjohn.com, where he calls himself the mental health coach to the stars. Well, to me, that was a little bit off-putting, but he was, when I interviewed him, I thought he was lovely. So, go there and you just scroll down and it makes you kind of just want to jump right up into his website and start succeeding. And I thought that was positive. So please be sure to join us next week because his energy is kind of contagious. And this week, of course, we've been talking with our wonderful, beautiful, precious friend, Peter Wright. He's been with us, as I say, for the 21st time. Peter is a certified hypnotherapist based in Santa Barbara, California. He also holds the distinction of being one of only 40 board-certified past life regression therapists in the United States. And Peter is very precious to me now because he has helped some people I really cared about in our audience. And he has more than 25 years of experience. I don't know how many years it is now, Peter. It's probably more like 40 years, working with thousands of clients on a variety of kinds of problems, which, frankly, talk therapy couldn't fix. But in some cases, people have told me that Peter helped them really substantially in just 1 2-hour session. And because he has helped people, as I say, that I truly cared about, I'm forever grateful to him. He's one of our very frequent, very regular guests, like Craig Hogan and like Carol and Mikey Morgan, and he always has something new and fascinating to talk about, as was true today. So, as I say, he'll be back more and more, very often, just to share with us people that became precious to him too, sometimes in just, as I say, 1 2-hour session. And as you know, our great friend Craig Hogan is the president and guru of Seek Reality Online. Now, some people have been telling me that they don't really care about the afterlife. They don't plan to go there. Well, it's not going to be up to you. We know now, we know enough about the afterlife. We know enough about life and death that it's not optional. You're going to go whether you like it or not. Your life is eternal by its very nature. So join Seek Reality Online, spend a year or two learning not only that your life is eternal, but that it's going to be in a glorious eternity. Seek Reality Online is your one-stop resource for all things afterlife. Just go to seekreality.com, learn the truth, and learn that your life is far more wonderful, more glorious, more perfect than you can possibly imagine. And of course, teachingsbyjesus.com is your best resource for all the beautiful divine truths that are brought to us in perfect love by the greatest teacher of them all, Master Jesus. The religion that we think was brought to you by Jesus was not brought to you by Jesus. It was brought to you by the Roman Emperor Constantine. And now that religion is finally dying, the truth that was brought to you by Jesus can finally come alive. So learn Jesus's truth, which is the real truth. Also, as you know by now, there are nonfiction books which I wrote with some help. One is Liberating Jesus, another is My Thomas, The Fun of Dying, The Fun of Staying in Touch, The Fun of Growing Forever, The Fun of Living Together, and The Fun of Loving Jesus, Embracing the Christianity that Jesus taught. For young children, there's The Fun of Meeting Jesus, and you can order all these books through bookstores on Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. And if you want to talk to me about anything at all, you can just contact me through the green contact block on robertagrimes.com. And I do answer my emails, but make sure you give me your correct email address. And all the more than 550 past episodes of Seek Reality are available wherever audio podcasts can be found, or you can see us in beautiful living color on the video episodes each week on Roku, Fire Stick, and wherever you can find YouTube videos. And meanwhile, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Please enjoy and make the most of this coming week in our one reality, always knowing that you are a powerful, eternal being, and most of all in this entire universe, you are infinitely, eternally, and perfectly loved.
You've been listening to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Roberta blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Join us every week as we explore what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about the one reality we all share. Knowing the truth changes everything.